Have you ever felt that there's something inside you dormant? Have you ever wondered why you feel restless even in the midst of comfort? Have you ever looked at your own life and felt that something essential was forgotten? What if the problem isn't the pressure of the world, but the absence of your instinct? The truth is simple but brutal. The modern world has domesticated man. It turned strength into weakness, turned mission into distraction, turned the warrior into a spectator. But the instinct is still there. Silenced, crushed by routine, by addiction, by laziness. It didn't die. It was just put to sleep. He who fights with monsters should look to it that he himself does not become a monster. And if you gaze long into an abyss, the abyss also gazes into you. Nietzsche said that. And today the abyss is called distraction. It's called procrastination, social media, escape. That's the abyss where the modern man got lost. But there is a way out. To reclaim your instinct is not to become a beast, and it's to become truly human again. With purpose, with strength, with direction. A man's instinct is not blind violence. It is discipline. It is order. It is seeing the chaos and remaining unshaken. It's waking up early even when tired, working hard even without applause. It's becoming dangerous, not to others but to everything trying to weaken you. When you reclaim your instinct, you no longer run from yourself. You no longer seek comfort. You seek meaning. And meaning, my brother, is found in the weight you choose to carry, and that's where maintenance comes in. In the machine, in the engine, in the hydraulic system. You don't wait for it to break before fixing it. You observe. You listen to the sound. You smell the grease. The vibration of the metal reveals what the eye can't see. It's the same with your inner self. If you ignore the signs, the failure comes. And when it comes, it charges a high price. The workshop teaches more than technique. It teaches posture. Here, what's dirty on the outside must be clean on the inside. Here, silence speaks. Effort rebuilds. The mind aligns with the calloused hand. Maybe you drifted away from your essence. Maybe you got used to distraction. Maybe you let the world reprogram you. But let me tell you something. The discipline you ignore today is the shield that will protect you tomorrow. Don't wait for motivation. It doesn't come. Wait for order. And build that order with your own hands. Man is nothing else but what he makes of himself. Sartre, you weren't born to be a spectator of your own life. The man who reclaims his instinct doesn't shout, doesn't show off, doesn't seek applause. He becomes an example, and that changes everything. Now choose. Will you keep running, or will you return to the battlefield? Reclaim your instinct, rebuild your order, and leave the noise of the world behind. Everything that weakens starts from within. Before a machine fails, it always gives signs. The same principles that govern a workshop also apply to the soul. Modern man has forgotten to perform his own maintenance. The weakness of a system doesn't lie in effort. It lies in neglect. No gear jams out of nowhere. No engine explodes by accident. There was always a noise before, a vibration, a smell. But the world teaches you to ignore it, to keep moving forward, to silence your instinct, and that's how decay begins. Not all at once. But little by little, you stop caring for your mind. Accept any routine. Let your strength slip through your fingers, while time builds up dirt inside you. Aristotle once said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. But modern man traded habit for distraction, traded excellence for urgency, and lives putting out fires where he should be laying a foundation. Maintenance is more than repair. It's prevention. It's discipline. It's respect for the machine and for time. If you understand this in an engine, you need to apply it to your soul. You calibrate the torque, check the pressure, analyze the wear. Why not do the same with your emotions? With your thoughts? With your actions? You change the oil filter before it clogs the system. But how many dirty words have you let slip through your internal filter? How many useless conversations have you listened to? How much shallow information has polluted your mind? The man who reconnects with his instinct understands. You can't run at high performance with loose parts. You can't live at full power without aligning what's out of place. And that takes courage. Courage to face what's unstable. To pull over and say, today I won't run. Today I'll readjust. That's why true strength is silent. It comes from inner order, from a mind that governs action, from a spirit that commands the body. The disciplined man is like a well-tuned machine. He makes no unnecessary noise, wastes no energy on friction, and delivers the maximum. with minimal waste. In the workshop, you learn that the right part in the right place makes everything work. In life, it's the same. Put focus where there's distraction. Put order where there's chaos, and you'll see your system operate with precision. The maintenance of instinct begins in silence, in daily choices, in caring for what no one sees. Because that's what supports what everyone notices. There's no use painting the hood if the engine is compromised. There's no use showing strength if you're cracked on the inside. Reclaim your instinct. Rebuild your structure, and let your presence speak louder than any word. True strength doesn't make noise. It asserts itself in the silence of those who prepared while others slept. Nikola Tesla once said, "Instinct is something which transcends knowledge." And he was right. There is a silent intelligence within a man who listens and acts. It doesn't seek approval. It doesn't chase recognition. It simply knows. But the problem is many have lost the habit of listening. They live numbed by an overload of information and starved for direction. The modern world has produced informed men, but poorly formed ones, full of data, yet empty of principles, surrounded by stimuli, yet lacking a compass to point north. Isaiah once said, "If you do not stand firm in your faith, you will not stand at all, because to stand requires roots, and roots demand depth. The shallow man is tossed by every wind, but the one who reconnects with his instinct digs deep. He seeks foundation, not distraction. He reads the signs like a physicist deciphers the patterns of the universe. Because he understands, everything is connected. His body feels what his mind ignores. His soul groans when his values are betrayed, and his spirit cries out when he lives beneath his purpose." Einstein once said, "Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. But not just any movement. It must be movement with direction, effort with purpose, discipline with roots. In life, just like in machine maintenance, what goes uninspected breaks. And once broken, the cost of rebuilding is always higher than the cost of care. That's why here on the Instinct Maintenance channel, the message is clear. Restore yourself. Don't wait for the world to hand you a manual. Write your own, one built on unshakable principles, on time-tested wisdom. The Psalms say, "Teach us to number our days that we may gain a heart of wisdom." And wisdom is the key that unlocks instinct. A strong man is not the one who lifts the most weight. It's the one who endures the most pressure without losing his direction. It's the one who hears God in the silence, who learns from history, who sees farther because he's learned to see deeper. Your journey is not external, it's internal, and every great work begins where no one sees it. In the dark, in solitude, in the secret place. If today you feel alone, remember, the greatest builders work in the silence of dawn. While the world sleeps, instinct awakens. Keep going, because while many complain about the weight, you are forging your purpose. And maybe now you're asking yourself, how do I know if I'm on the right path? The answer doesn't come from outside voices, but from inner signals. You feel aligned when peace visits you. Even in the midst of chaos, you realize you're on course when pain stops feeling like punishment and becomes discipline. That is instinct. A silent yet precise radar. A system that warns you before the collapse, if you're paying attention. But to hear it, you need silence. And in today's world, that has become a luxury. We're surrounded by noise, distraction, and comparison. But those who master silence, master themselves. Those who choose discipline over momentary pleasure achieve what few ever do. Internal control. And here's one of the most powerful triggers no one talks about. Discomfort is the code of transformation. When you're uncomfortable, you're not broken. You're being shaped. Character is not forged through ease. The mind is not sharpened in the comfort zone. The soul is not refined without friction. So if your journey feels hard, congratulations. You're being tested to be approved. Remember, no one climbs a mountain in a hurry, but everyone who persists reaches the top transformed. And those forged by discipline become beacons for the lost, not for status, but for essence. And here comes a vital principle, reference. You become a reference when you live what you preach, when your life is consistent, when your presence changes the atmosphere without saying a word. That's not talent, it's construction. By the way, if this message is already making you reflect, drop a like, not for vanity, but so this message reaches others who are also on this journey of rebuilding. Because this channel is not about entertainment, It's about instinct maintenance. And keeping instinct alive is an act of rebellion against the system. It's walking against the current of superficiality. It's refusing to accept mediocrity as the norm. It's doing the work no one wants to do, the invisible, internal, deep work. But here's a hidden truth. Those who build in the dark shine with authority in the light. While many chase visibility, you're chasing consistency. While others want a stage, you're working on your foundation. And here comes another trigger. The world respects those who build in silence, because when the fruit appears, no one argues with the tree. The roots speak for it. This is the strength you're cultivating, a strength that doesn't need to shout to be noticed. It expresses itself in actions, in a steady gaze, in firm posture, in consistency. And as lonely as the journey may be, you are not alone. There is a silent generation awakening, men and women who are saying enough to superficiality, people who understand that true evolution isn't external, it's internal, it's spiritual, it's philosophical, it's strategic, and if you've made it this far, it's not by accident. Your instinct is responding. Your essence is being reactivated. And that's not a coincidence. It's a response from within. Because deep inside you, there's a builder, a warrior, a leader. You are not a product of chance. You are the result of every challenge you've endured. And yet, you're still standing. Your path isn't a mistake. It's a mission. Each scar is proof of a battle survived. The pain wasn't meant to break you. It was shaping you for a purpose far greater than comfort. But before anything else, you must own your responsibility. Don't ignore the signs. Don't delegate your growth. Don't blame the system, others, or the past. And never settle for less than what you were created to become. You weren't born just to exist. You were made to lead, to shift environments and to influence through action. Not with noise, but with example. With presence. With consistency. That's why the call is clear. Rebuild yourself. Return to your roots. Clean what's been corrupted. Organize what's been neglected. Strengthen your foundation even if no one sees it, because the time you spend rebuilding now will define how far you can go tomorrow. And those who build in silence earn the right to stand tall in the light. If this message spoke to you, it's because your instinct recognized the truth. So don't keep it to yourself. Like this video, not for approval, but to spread what matters. Share it with someone who's on the edge of giving up. And check the link in the description. You'll find tools with purpose, selected to support those who've chosen to walk a different path. We don't sell fantasy. We deliver truth. We prepare those who are ready to face what others avoid. Because you weren't called to be average. You were called to be unshakable. To be disciplined in a distracted world. To be depth in a time of shallowness. To be light forged in the dark. And if you've come this far, it means your transformation has already begun. So now, take the next step. Rebuild. Rise. Lead by essence, not ego. Because your story is not over. It's just getting started.